Let's make sure I've got my microphone actually close to me. All right, here we go. Thank you guys once again for joining me for a lunchtime live stream, for deciding to spend a little bit of your lunchtime with me. Today for lunch, I am having some convenient breakfast bars. So, I'm not really sure what motivated me to have these. I saw them on the shelf. I've never had them before. They look pretty tasty, and I do like Reese's Puffs cereal, and I do like Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal, so I thought I'd give them a shot, see what they're all about. Well, I hope you guys had a great weekend. Here we are. We're still locked down. Still a lot of businesses are kind of closed down. Not everything's open. I tried calling a couple of restaurants around in my area this weekend to see if there was anybody who could set up an eating challenge. Some of the restaurants that do regular eating challenges, unfortunately, they are not doing their regular eating challenges right now. So I'm still not really able to go out and do the kinds of challenges that I really like to do. But at least we have July 4th, Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest is going to be coming up. So something super exciting to look at. And before I go any further, I definitely want to nosh on something. Fill my stomach with a little bit of food so that I'm not dragging. Give myself a little bit of energy. Oh yeah. Definitely tastes like sugar and peanut butter. Kind of like a Rice Krispies treat that's gone really stale. Oh my goodness. There is definitely a sugary, sweet candy bar. I don't know how breakfasty it is, but I guess it'll do. Thank you, Johnny Styles, for showing up today. Says, hey Steve, how are you? I'm doing great today. Thank you for asking. Tuna Shogun, thank you for joining the live stream. Thank you for the wonderful comments. You say yum yum, get 'em. Yeah, I absolutely will, man. So I do want to talk about food, because it's me, and I always like to talk about food, because why the heck not? And I got to thinking about looking at Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. And we've got, Joey Chestnut is obviously going to be there, along with some of the crowd favorites from the previous years. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I look back in the past, and I believe in 2017, 2018, probably somewhere around there, Joey Chestnut set the record for eating, I think, 74 hot dogs in Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest, which just boggles my mind that anybody can cram that much food into their throat that quickly without choking and without their stomach exploding. So kudos to him. And there's some interviews. He's done an interview where he mentioned that, the conditions are going to be ripe for breaking the record yet again. He is shooting for 77, 78 hot dogs. I think it'll be awesome. I believe the over-under on him right now is 71, something like that, which that is already just an astronomical amount. But reading about those kinds of world records, it got me thinking about what other kinds of crazy records there are out there with not just eating, but with food in general. So of course I did a little bit of poking around, and I thought it'd be cool to take a look at some of the coolest world records that I found. This is mostly big giant food stuff that's coming up. And of course this is Guinness Book of World Records is where I found most of these. So the first one of my favorite foods is ice cream. So I thought it was appropriate to take a look at this. The world's largest scoop of ice cream, which just sounds ridiculous. I know that there are some of these largest, X food videos going around the internet, but I couldn't help, looking at this. The world's largest scoop of ice cream. Look at it right there. It is so awesome. I would love to be there on that summer day. I mean, I wonder what the logistics are of making a scoop of ice cream that big. Let's read the little blurb about it. Let's see. The largest scoop of ice cream weighed 1,365 kilograms, or 3,100 pounds, or 3,010 pounds, sorry about that, and was created by Kemp's LLC, USA, in Cedarburg, Wisconsin, USA, on the 28th of June, 2014. That's absolutely mind-boggling. Now, this is the Midwest, it looks like. Wisconsin, I guess it's a little bit far north, so it's probably not super hot, but still, the middle of summer. So like I said, I wonder what the logistics were to like keep this thing all together while they were creating this giant scoop. So let's see, the strawberry-flavored ice cream scoop measured 5 foot 6 inches tall and 6 feet and 2 inches wide, containing approximately 733 containers of ice cream. Thousands of attendees at Cedarburg Strawberry Festival lined up and received a generous serving of the ice cream for free throughout the weekend. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty amazing. I guess it's kind of like a snowman, you know. They just like build it up and then it probably like slowly melted throughout the weekend, something like that. Now, I am super curious about this number right here. 733 containers of ice cream measuring 3,010 pounds. Let's see, that would be not quite 5 pounds per container of ice cream. Those are giant containers of ice cream. I wonder where they're getting their ice cream. 5 pounds, that's over half a gallon. And of course, perfect time of year, middle of summer, and one of my favorite foods, ice cream. I just thought it was kind of super cool to take a look at that thing. Oh, Liam, thank you for joining the live stream. Says, hey, Steve. How's it going, bud? Johnny Styles, you're asking if I've tried the brownie-flavored M&Ms. I'm afraid I have not tried the brownie-flavored M&Ms. That sounds really, really good, like something I'm going to have to try, though. Oh, my gosh. These things are so difficult to chew. They remind me a little bit of that time where I tried to eat a ton of Cliff Bars. It's a little bit of a mouth workout to eat these things. These Cinnamon Toast Treats. Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch Treats. I think calling them treats is probably correct. Because like I said, these things are so sugary. Not a breakfast staple at all. Hopefully not a breakfast staple for too many people. But they are super tasty. And they're so chewy that I think it would be really tough to try to get through all of these in one sitting. But it's my lunch, so I've got to fill up for lunch. And they're only 100 calories each, so not super big. All right, moving on. One of my other favorite foods, one of my favorite desserts, nice and sweet and sugary and rich, is cheesecake. So I found some news articles about what is claimed to be the most expensive cheesecake ever. And like I read through the description of this thing, and it just sounds so over the top. I had to dig into it. I would love to check this out one day. Oh my goodness, I hate these ads that are. Go away. Can I like cover you up? There. Now we don't have to look at that silly ad in the corner. Okay. So let's see. This is the world's most expensive cheesecake. I'm going to read through some of this article because it just sounds amazing. Is there such a thing as being too rich? Great way to start an article. After covering wealth for more than 14 years, the question has often come to mind. But it took on a special meaning when I took my first bite of the world's most expensive cheesecake at $5,000 per cake. That right there is just like, holy moly. And this isn't some like kitschy cheesecake where they just did a bunch of ridiculous things like threw diamonds on top or something. Like this is just made with extremely expensive ingredients. Oh, come on. I don't want to see that stupid video. There we go. Okay, so this $5,000 cheesecake is officially the world's most expensive, made by chef Rafael Ronca, owner of Raffaelli Ristorante in Manhattan Greenwich Village. Ronca, I'm probably mispronouncing some of those things, but we're going to roll with it. Let's see. Ronca gave Secret Lives of the Super Rich an exclusive look and taste of his creation recently, as he made one for his clients and whipped up a little extra for us to sample. Let me see. Let's see if we can get on to some of the guts of exactly what this is. This isn't one of those price gimmick desserts where ice cream scoop sells for $10,000 sundaes by putting a diamond on top or including a first-class trip to Iceland. Ronca's cheesecake is expensive because of the cost and quality of what goes inside. So it starts with the cheese. Forget your grandmother's silver packets of Philadelphia cream cheese, which I am definitely not against. I love those things. Ronca starts his masterpiece with fresh formaggio from water buffalo in southern Italy. It's flown in fresh the previous day. That's absolutely incredible. I'm sure that these guys have to pre-order this or something like that so that they fly it in specifically to make a single cheesecake. Says these water buffalo are very happy. They have good lives, he tells me, and they can taste it in their milk and cheese. Next, he adds the most shocking ingredient, a 200-year-old cognac that costs $2,500 a bottle. Oh my goodness. Cognac snobs, even non-snobs, will no doubt curse the insanity of using the most expensive cognac in the world to pour into a cheesecake, and the chef agrees. I know people will call me a criminal for this, he says, as he poured 3 shots worth around $300 of Hennessy Paradis. Oh my god, that's absolutely insane. Now, if anybody caught the live stream last Friday, you probably know that cognac is by far my favorite adult beverage. And not only that, Hennessy is my brand of choice. So, good job, guys. Chose the best right there. I think it is kind of crazy to be, like, even to mix cognac in with, like, I don't know, coffee or some kind of mixer, like a cocktail, is kind of strange to me. So cooking with it is just unimaginable. Oh my goodness, that's absolutely insane. Oh, and here we go. This looks like the chef with his incredible cheesecake creation right there. Oh, it looks so good. Let's see. But the toasty aroma with hints of rose, pepper, and honey quickly infuse the cheese. Next up, he squeezes in some fresh vanilla beans imported from Madagascar. Of course, you need the Madagascar vanilla from the source. Oh, and then he adds the real jaw dropper, white truffles from Alba, a town in Italy's Piedmont region. Truffles in a cheesecake? That sounds a little bit strange to me. Yeah, I don't know why anyone would do that. So let's see. Truffles are typically more at home in pasta than cheesecake. And Alba truffles, snipped out by the out of the Italian countryside by specially trained dogs, are the diamonds of the truffle world. They typically sell for more than $4,000 a pound, but because of bad weather, they're especially expensive this year. A trio of Albas weighing less than 2 pounds sold for $85,000 this month to a Hong Kong buyer. Oh my god, this is comedic. This is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. So he slices the Alba truffles, and I asked the chef if he realizes people think he's crazy. Of course. White truffles in a cheesecake? I think I'm crazy, he says. Oh my goodness. So it goes on. It goes on. This is so silly. Oh my goodness. What does this say right here? I wish I could say I'd take a slice of $6 Junior's cheesecake any day this week over Ronca's, but I can't. Because the world's most expensive cheesecake is also the best. Or at least the best I've had. Oh, that is totally classy. I think that cheesecake is like a fantastic dessert. This wonderful mix of creamy, tangy, sweet, just like everything you absolutely want. And if you use, typically, if you use like typical Philadelphia cheesecake or cream cheese, or most commercial cream cheeses, they are quite salty, so you get a lot of salt, a good hit of salt in that stuff as well. Mm. Well, I am enjoying this, looking over some of these ridiculous food creations. Just makes my mouth water. Makes me think that some of the food challenges that I've done have been, just nothing. What do you guys think? Do you think I could take on a 3,000-pound hamburger by myself? Might take me a little bit more than 45 minutes to finish something like that. Mm. But, of course, this is all kind of fantasy. Like, makes me wish I could go to New York and try some of Ronca's cheesecake. But maybe next year, maybe some other time. I don't know. Fingers crossed. I'm really hoping that things are going to open up again pretty soon. We'll be able to travel and check out some of these amazing food challenges and just amazing foodstuffs around the world. So I think the last thing that I thought was pretty cool is I found this website that I've never heard of before called foodbeast.com. And they have this article talking about just the largest servings of different kinds of food. Obviously, I expect that all these are in Guinness Book of World Records as well, but I thought some of them looked pretty cool. For example, at the top, let's see, we all enjoy seeing foods the size of SUVs. And yes, there was a huge sigh of relief when I noticed that the U.S. wasn't the only one to set food records for massive proportions. This list takes local food challenges to the next level with these behemoths. With these hellacious works of art. I don't know if you could call it hellacious, but okay, we'll stick with it. I think that's poetic license right there. We dare you to clean your plate. All right, so first up on this list, we've got the world's largest s'more, which just looks ridiculous. I don't know if I can like get behind something like this. It just looks like a big pile of wee tiny pieces of food. So yeah, 121 kilograms, I guess, but it just looks like a big pile of Hershey's chocolate and marshmallows to me. However, the one that really caught my eye from this list, boom, look at that bad boy. The largest hamburger commercially available. So this is one that I actually saw on Guinness Book of World Records. I wanted to find out a little bit more information on it. This hamburger actually holds the world record for being the most expensive commercially available hamburger. So again, this is the kind that's not covered in gold leaf, doesn't come topped with a diamond, not kitschy at all, just freaking gigantic. So here we go. Juicy Foods made the 777-pound hamburger. I mean, look at this thing. It is so absurd, so ridiculous. Again, I have to question, like, what are the logistics for cooking a piece of beef that big? Like, how do you cook ground beef? Like, how do you form ground beef? And how do you get an oven to cook a piece of ground beef that big? I would expect that they would have to make some kind of custom-made, cylindrical container for it. And then they'd kind of, like, compress it and press it down so that it would maintain its shape. And then they'd have to have a custom oven that they could actually fit this thing into. I don't know, maybe it's wood-fired. They just did it over a big fire. But in order to make sure they didn't burn the outside and the inside's completely raw, then they would have to cook it low and slow, like 225 degrees for a day and a half or something ridiculous like that. I don't know. The logistics of giant food just blows my mind. Let's see. Where? The United States. So it's somewhere in the U.S. We don't know. I'd have to look that one up. But really? Hold the cheese? Okay, but we are still very impressed. This enormous burger could make an appearance at your next Super Bowl party. Just make sure to give the restaurant 48 hours notice. Holy moly, so this is something that you could actually go and order, apparently. Oh my goodness. I would love to check this thing out. Juicy Foods. I'm going to have to do some research on who Juicy Foods is to... I just think that's absolutely insane. I will say, I think the most impressive culinary creation in terms of size that I've seen is probably the party roll at Stuffy's 2. in Longview, Washington. And I know that you need to order those things in advance. The party roll is a 25-pound cinnamon roll. That's, yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's just giant. It's huge. You guys can look up the video that's on my channel on Big Eaters Club, and also Freak Eating made a video of that as well, because all three of us got together to try to eat that thing in one sitting. And I was talking with the restaurant folks about it. They do like cook those things at 250 degrees for hours and hours and hours, because, you know, it's a big chunk of bread, and to heat the middle without burning the outside, you do have to cook it like low and slow like that. So it does change the texture of it. Not a typical cinnamon roll, but, you know, so it goes. It's more about the novelty than it is about the cinnamon roll experience. I shouldn't say that. Those cinnamon rolls are freaking delicious anyway. I think one thing about it is that after you cook it, the center like holds its heat for so long that hours later, if you crack that thing open, it's still warm and gooey on the inside. It's so good. Okay, moving on. Let's see. What else do we have? The world's largest gluten-free pizza. Oh my goodness. What is this? D'Avilio? Nardi. Oh, he's Italian. This is from Italy, so some strange pronunciation that I wouldn't even know. Let me see here. Oh my god, like, that's pretty incredible. I love that. Again, I'm wondering about how they would cook this thing. Maybe they would like, they would have to form it all before they cooked even a bit of it. So maybe they had like a crane or some kind of mechanism to walk over it and like heat it from the top or something like that using some kind of devices. I don't know. This is ridiculous. Do you think you could eat this whole thing guilt-free? Would you get a t-shirt? I love that. Nice reference to the food challenges, where you often get a free t-shirt and your, you know, photo up on a wall of fame or something like that if you finish a food challenge from a restaurant. All right, prepared by our friend Andre Manocci, Marco Nardi, Matteo Nardi, and Matteo Gianotta? I don't know, whatever. A couple of guys. It was prepared by a bunch of folks. This pizza has a bigger plan. This pizza was named Ottavia after the first Roman emperor, Octavian. Did I read that correctly? Yes. Octavian Augustus. The purpose of this pie was to spread the message to the world about the importance of health-conscious food choices, and this pizza party just got serious. I think it is silly that they have this gluten-free pizza to spread, to spread the word about like health food and making conscious decisions to eat more healthfully, when I think it's been pretty well debunked that unless you have celiac disease or some kind of sensitivity to gluten, then it's not going to hurt you at all. You know, eat all the gluten you want as long as your body is able to digest it. Oh my goodness. Well, that was kind of a fun diversion for lunch. I appreciate you guys deciding to hang out with me today. A bit of a strange live stream today, but you know, I just thought it was kind of fun to look at those kinds of things. It's always fun to like consider the possibilities that are out there. You know, I would love to one of these days travel to Italy and maybe have some really authentic Italian food, but far in the future, stuff that I have to worry about at a later time. I honestly am not even sure I could travel outside of the country right now with the way that everything's happening. I know that even crossing the border to Canada is kind of fraught. And there are so many awesome food challenges just north of me in Canada. I'm really, really sorry that I can't do it. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. It's always fun to talk with you guys. Always fun to see you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the little lunchtime diversion. And until tomorrow, where I'm planning to live stream again when I'm eating something. Oh, of course, it is June 29th, and tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm going to have to do something birthday themed. So until then, until tomorrow, peace out. You guys have a good one, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.